targets up as Ragnaros landing a 4-man Sulfurous Smash, Durance of Hate from Mephisto, and this combination executed perfectly at the end of the game.
From Alarak, make it a quad kill set up by that ETC.
Wow, did you see that mosh pit? 4-man mosh pit while on a conveyor belt. That was like a regular sushi line.
Nubarak, core at 50%. Both cores are just absolutely melting. Which one's going to go down first? I think this is going to be Respect the Gooses. Oh my goodness.
Ring. Oh my goodness, the ring. Jaina just pulling up everybody here. That's a 4, make it 5.
And it does knock them all up. What a play! Oh my God! Somebody please clip that.
All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Nexus Gaming Series tonight, brought to you by Aero and Recychic.
What's up, everybody?
Hello, Recychic.
Hello. Oh, hello. It's me, Yoshi. Just kidding. It's me, Recychic.
So, Recychic, tonight we're going to catch a match between Legal and ReGen Ghost.
Ooh, I see tons and tons and tons of familiar names in here. I think I know everybody here, actually.
There are quite a few familiar names here. For those of you who don't know, Legal, the updated version of Jailbait, previously AKA. ReGen Ghost, I don't want to call them a new team, but they're kind of a new team this season. They've kind of been through a couple of iterations over the last couple seasons. But really, Legal, pretty much, I mean, at least almost entirely the same roster, if not entirely the same.
Yeah, more or less. Looks that way. A couple of people different, but that's about it.
Yeah, so, because I think DB Smiley joined partway through either last season or the season before. I can't remember. I think it was the season before. And I don't recall Kobo, but I don't know.
No, I think they were there.
That's entirely possible. But anyways, let's take a quick look at our standings and our map bans. You know, I feel kind of fortunate because I feel like almost all of the matches that I've cast so far this season have been matches where the teams are even in the standings. And this is no exception here. Legal, ReGen Ghost, both of them have had 2 matches. They've both gone 2-0 in one and 0-2 in the other.
Okay.
So sitting at a tie for 4th place with a whole lot of teams. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 all have 3 points so far at this point in the season.
All right. I mean, it's still early, so anything can happen, and I'm excited to see these 2 go together because if they're that close, it should be a good match.
Absolutely. Now, taking a look at our map bans here, we have coming out from Legal. They banned out the Towers of Doom and Dragonshire. 2 of my favorite maps. I'm really sad we're not going to get to see those tonight. ReGen Ghost, they banned out Hanamura and Brax's Holdout.
Okay.
What do you think about those bans?
Yeah, they're fine. I like Braxis. I think it's pretty fun. And Hanamura's like fine. The Towers of Doom and Dragonshire, oof, those are definitely the Aero maps, if ever there were any.
Indeed. So, Silvara says, hi, Rek. Our first game tonight is going to be on Volskaya Foundry. It was a selection of Legal, and it looks like we're ready to go.
All right.
I just have to, for one quick second, I have to point out that my camera can be remarkably good or bad at times. And today, it's doing actually a really good job. I usually have several lights on when I try to cast. And sometimes it'll say, hey, here's your face and it's even whiter than normal. But usually it gets to being about where the camera is at right now. Today, one light on, because I forgot to turn the other one on. It's just about the same.
All right. That's good to hear.
But we're going to see an ETC ban coming out from ReGen Ghost with a response coming from Legal in the form of a Maiev.
Interesting.
I think those are good bans. I mean, ETC's a really strong ban just in general. Maiev, I mean, she hasn't seen a ton of play in NGS, at least that I've seen.
Not lately.
But she's a strong hero, and Litorok puts on a clinic with her.
Okay, so it's a possible target, and then Chromie seems to be a pretty meta ban. I think these are all meta outside of the Maiev, I suppose. But like you said, she's super solid, and a good Maiev is going to rain hell upon her enemies. So,
especially on a map like Volskaya, where you've got these elongated fights over the control points, and they're fairly good-sized control points, but you still, the top one, the bottom one, kind of get funneled into specific areas. And Rec, we have Mr. Kane.
Oh, stay a while and listen. Beautiful. You love to see him. What do we have in response, though?
I mean, there's no cleanse, so you could see, I was going to say something like a Garrosh and a, what's his name? Imperius is still on the list, and Imperius gets a lot of value here. He's a little bit, doesn't quite get as much potential value out of the off-lane soak, but that's okay on this map. Because generally you rotate between mid and top anyways, so you don't need your solo laner in most cases to double soak.
Not particularly, no.
And then when you've got him on the control point, well, spears suck. And if you've ever seen, oh my goodness, if you've ever seen the video, and I think it was like, it was one of the Heroes of the Storm highlights videos, where they showed an AI Imperius getting the cooldown reduction.
God, I love that one.
Straight
That's
up,
a really
just
good one.
Guys, if you haven't seen this, you gotta like Google it for like
That's
Imperius CDR like AI 1v6 basically, because there was a Misha.
It's worthwhile. It's so funny.
It's
Wolfia,
bonkers.
Wolfia, please. I kind of saw the Johanna coming. I just want to throw that out there. I kind of wish I called it, to be honest. But that's all right. Anduin. A Banduin on Anduin.
And what is it about the draft that you thought, like, what pointed out that it was going to be Johanna?
A high priority on Deckard, because those two could be such a powerhouse together. Condemn, bringing all the enemies in one place, and then you could follow it up with a Sapphire or just simply any of sort of Heraldric Cube there. But and then Scroll of Sealing underneath. I actually think that Ana would have been a better ban than Anduin. And lo and behold, there she is. She's going to probably give Fragastellar on Thrall there, the Nano, if not Tassadar. They're both pretty good targets for it. So I kind of wish they banned out Ana there, but the Legal managed to pick it up. That's good news for them. So
yeah, for sure. Ana is going to be really strong in this. You know, Tassadar with Ana, especially if he takes that Executor's Will, I think is what it's called at 16. He gets bonus spell power, then he could take Kala's Embrace at 20 and get even more spell power. Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
I'm imagining it right now, and I just imagine a dead team.
Li Ming and Blaze going to be the final picks here, and that's a really strong, solid setup. You've got a couple of stuns, you got the Deckard roots, and then Li Ming just says, all right, you're dead. So really some big combo possibilities out of ReGen Ghost here. But we're going to get Tychus, and Tychus comboed with a Garrosh throw and a Thrall root. I mean, Thrall and Garrosh have been a combo since Mists of Pandaria, really? So quite some time. And I missed some names here. Who do we got over here? Obo is playing Tassadar.
I'm going to just throw out my opinion here. I kind of like the ReGen Ghost draft slightly better. Slightly. And the reason I only say slightly is because I feel like if there's a Garrosh, you need to just sort of commit to shutting him down in some way. I don't see too many characters on ReGen Ghost's team that do that. However, the The Legal team is a little squishier. Maybe I do like Legal's team better, actually. I don't know. I feel like Tychus is a good pick, and it's completely reasonable to take him. I don't hate it one bit, but I feel like you can wait out the minigun cooldown, like take 2 shots from it and walk away, and then re-engage. Yeah, I don't know. Actually, this is tricky. I don't think I have it.
We'll come back to that in a second. Let's go ahead and get our teams introduced. Rek, why don't you go ahead and start us off?
All right, so on the left side, blue team, that's going to be Legal. H2O will be playing Tychus Coffin on Garrosh. Koba will be playing Tassadar, DB Smiley on Ana, and Fragastellar on Thrall.
Alrighty, and over here to the right, we've got Ziltoid playing the Sylvanas Littlerock on Johanna. Dub C going to be playing that Li Ming. Andrew on that Deckard, riding the golden piggy bank there. And then Shui going to be on that Blaze. So, what I see here is I see Tychus, who had 13, can increase his armor through stuns and roots, and there's a lot of that potential coming from ReGen Ghost, so I think...
I think that's a 7. Am I making that up?
Is it 7?
I think it's 7. 13 has Neo Steel.
You know what? You're right. Absolutely. Yep.
Okay.
You are 100%
correct. Still correct, though. Like, still the point remains.
I mean, the point then being is that halfway through this game, or even earlier, Tychus is going to be a lot harder to kill. So he can be a little bit, just like we saw right there, a little bit closer to that front line with that Johanna, and not necessarily feel punished for it.
Absolutely. I've been seeing him Tychus players take a lot of dash lately with the increased range of the run and gun, and it's no different here either. So he's going to be able to get in and out very easily.
All right, we do have the Rolling Thunder, which I think is a big positive there against the Blaze Johanna, especially in that solo lane, giving Thrall the additional, not only healing, but a % damage against Blaze, who is a pretty beefy boy there. Tassadar going into that Shock Ray talent level 1 there, increasing his Q damage as the game goes on. Every time he hits a player, sitting at 20 out of 200 right now. But sitting on these control points, fully expect that to go up there. Cawthon looking for the throw onto Johanna, but Lid, just a moment before that throw came out, popped that unstoppable, and she's just fine.
Yeah, look at that. I mean, it's kind of difficult to throw Hana and Deb. But yeah, I liked that.
Well, there's a throw onto that Johanna, as mentioned, and good stun there, but Deckard with a massive 4-man Scroll of Sealing, going to be able to prevent any significant damage there onto Johanna.
Yeah, that's 3 stacks towards Scroll of Identify right there. They're looking to lower some armor. Yeah, I think... I
thought there was...
Orphea.
Yeah, I thought Tychus got in it too, but maybe just missed it.
Tychus. I'm very bad at naming characters these days.
Yeah, Orphea, you mean the one that was banned?
Yeah, Orphea, the one that was banned with the big pink minigun.
Yep, the pink minigun. All right.
Yeah, so Scroll of Identify will help with that Garrosh later on, one can hope, if you are Deckard.
Yeah, eventually getting that 15 armor reduction is really strong. It also is going to help them to counteract a little bit on the Tychus, right? Because now his 30 armor becomes a 15. Big throw there onto Blaze. He gets the jet propulsion to stun the Deckard. It's really just Tassadar there. So while Blaze will take a lot of damage from the towers, he's ultimately going to be just fine. And we do have control point 1 coming up here right now. Thrall and Blaze both looking to see if they can't get a little bit more soak in the bottom lane here. And I think overall that this has been slightly in favor of the Thrall, so we'll have to see how they do down there if they continue to hang out. But we do have a fight over mid, and it's just 3 versus 4 here, as Lid falling very low. Tychus getting quite a bit of value out of that minigun.
Yeah, but not willing to give up the point just yet is ReGen Ghost, looking to just sit here for a bit, stall it out, maybe get more soak going. Look at that top lane, he's kind of pushing in, Ziltoid trying to deal with it. They get 7s.
So 7 is picked up, as you mentioned there, for ReGen Ghost. So it is a full orb build here for Li Ming. Dub looking for those big, high-value orb targets there. Garrosh looking maybe to get in there for the Deckard, trying to bypass the Johanna. And it's all 5 heroes from the side of Legal, as Blaze had to go back. Sylvanas still up in the top lane, as Lid now deep into the enemy team. does have the healing reduction and blocked by the Thrall, trying to get as many of those potions as possible, but picked up a few before the healing reduction had gone away.
Yeah, I mean, there was a ruby in there as well. Managed to pick a couple up, but I think at that point it expired. And like you said, the healing reduction is just gonna cancel that out.
Well, and even with this 4v5 right now, ReGen Ghost coming in with the overtime. Johanna's not here yet, but they are going to get that kill onto Garrosh with the turret, and an empowered turret, no less. It's going to force Legal to pull back and reevaluate their decisions there. I was going to try to come up with some kind of lawyer joke, but I just couldn't do it.
That's all right. No, it was a cross-examination.
That's exactly where I was just going to go.
Gotta get your Phoenix right in here. Yeah, I like I said, if you can shut the Garrosh down, the team kind of can't really do that much. It's not even necessarily kill him, just don't allow him to do what he wants to do. But they're gonna go ahead and grab their full turret camp down there again. Both teams actually, so it's gonna be a fun one. Another team fight coming up.
Yeah, and Blaze heading up. I think that might have been a little bit too soon for him to disappear. Now. Johanna does have her trait down, so she doesn't have a lot of time. They can't just give this up. Oh my goodness. Johanna taking all kinds of % damage from that Tychus. The healing grenade is going to help to secure that kill, as Decker did finish his root quest there. Both teams at 99%, so one team or the other is getting it at the end of this fight. And Thrall is deep into the team, and everybody's very low.
Oh, everyone. SHW33 going down once again. Oh, Andrew gets thrown into the back line. It actually kind of backfires on them, because a whole bunch of the team of Legal goes down.
And that was everybody low. I was actually surprised. Like, Deckard almost could have just walked up and used his pimp cane to slap the Tassadar. He was so low. It was close.
He wanted to grab those rubies, yeah. Oh, man. Well played by ReGen Ghost on that last fight. I liked the flank from Blaze. It was pretty nice. Granted, it was like a half a second late, but it's no big deal.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, you know, they were able to succeed getting the Protector. And, you know what? If you're going to get a Protector, in a lot of ways, the best time to do it is after you've just killed most of the enemy team.
Yeah, look at that. See, they're already most of the way done with this top area. And, oh, there it is. As I was saying that, the Protector was about half health, but now that
yeah, but Tychus, right?
Here, yeah, but Tychus, by the way. Yeah.
And it is important to note, Tychus did go the bigger they are, so he does have that extra bonus when the heroes are above 40%. And technically, the vehicle does count as a hero, but I believe that it caps out, so I don't think the bigger they are does more damage to the Protector.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right, because that would just be crazy.
So Blaze and Thrall, once again, down in the bot lane. We'll check in on them here. Who's having to go back and use his tap. And it looks like a little bit of the teams are both kind of posturing around mid, looking for maybe that healing camp, but they instead head down into the mid lane. Deckard looking for the silence, gets the Garrosh. Great silence there from Sylvanas as well. Gonna get that condemn and pull DB Smiley, and Ana gonna go down. And so a double kill for ReGen Ghost. And now what I was mentioning earlier about that healing camp, they're gonna pick that up.
And that there is an example of why I like Johanna Deckard together. Super awesome, super good. There was actually a Blessed Shield. I thought I saw it in there. It was really quick. But that also, I think, was the actual engage. So
yeah, sometimes it can be really hard to see those because when they're close.
So quick. So quick. Yeah, I think it was literally like on Garrosh's face or something. I'll have to look back at that. Oh, it passed. All right, whatever.
Well, Lid gonna get thrown in and taunted. The tower shut down by Sylvanas, so luckily there for Johanna, not taking those shots from the tower, getting the armor penalty, because if that had happened, I think Johanna's a dead girl there, but ultimately, Legal able to save their fort up top here so far.
Well, that's good for them. I mean, you kind of want this as much defense top lane as you can for the second objective, so it's good that they're managing to keep that. Their well is down, but that's not the end of the world.
Oh, well, right? Ah,
nice.
Been a while since I've made that one. So Johanna in the middle here, as well as most of Legal. Blaze trying to gather that soak down on the bot as the rest of the team. Picking up the siege camp and the fortification camp here for ReGen Ghost. Not a lot on the map for Legal to do at this point, other than kind of posture, soak XP, and, you know, Cawthon really looking for maybe a hero that steps up a little bit too far. Like the Johanna, but somehow didn't get that throw. Sleep coming out, though. Condemn is going to interrupt it. Rek, how do you think this... Is it already done? It might be done.
I think this team fight's already over. Yeah. I think that was a disengaged stay a while, but the Condemn kind of made it oopsie. It's a little awkward, but the whole team fight's over, so it's fine. Or is it? Because Cawthon is getting mega low on this Garrosh, but it doesn't really matter. Just kidding. Yes, it does, because Anna's getting low as well from Ziltoid's Wailing Arrow there, but it's going to be the big disengage.
Now, speaking of Ziltoid, a long time ago in an NGS far away, approximately 2 or 3 seasons ago, Ziltoid put together a pretty in-depth review of Sylvanas and, you know, the after her rework, the different options for talents and, you know, really how to play her to her max. So to see Ziltoid in his Season 10 debut coming in on the Sylvanas is kind of a treat.
A little bit, yeah.
He's doing some work.
No kidding, especially with Mercenary Queen. I just noticed that. Oh no, Tassadar getting mega low. Actually uses the black hole to disengage himself. It's going to be down an ult, but he lives.
And ultimately they trade out the stay a while there from Deckard. So the only ultimate for ReGen Ghost now is the bunker drop. But they do have level 16.
They do 16. They kind of have Disintegrate. Oh, here it comes. There it is. The armor reduction from Scroll of Sealing. Brought to you by Condemn. Should we be looking for something on Fragastellar? Can't quite find it. Another root hopping onto that 30 armor H2O. No, look at that. Doesn't matter though. He's gonna get away.
Oh, that's an example of that dash talent both working for Tychus, allowing him to dash away from the Arcane Orb, and against Tychus because of the additional movement speed, putting him right back into the end of that.
Oh yeah.
Feels unfortunate, my friend. Legal heading down. They're gonna get their turret camp here now. I think at this point they're too late. They cannot make it to top. So I'd almost like to just see them zip over there and get mid. Tyka's gonna get. I'm sorry, not mid. I meant the turret. But Tyka's gonna get bot soak. Oh, Ziltoid not quite able to make it over that wall. But Thrall not in position to be able to take advantage of it.
No. Okay.
So that gives ReGen Ghost the protector their wreck.
Yep, here comes the another one. Where's it gonna go? Top lane, looks like. That's fine.
Up into top lane, they do have the Sylvanas, so able to shut down these towers. We saw that first one go down. There's the second one. But Legal has 16, and Tychus now getting sizzling attack. So even without his minigun active, he's still going to be doing that extra 1% for every attack.
Oh yeah.
And he attacks pretty fast. How many does he get? Why can't I find it? Oh well.
Here comes the stay a while once again, zoning off the rest of Legal. But nothing doing. I think it was another disengage rather than an engage stay a while.
Rek, can you check to see how many attacks Tychus gets per second? I think it's 4.
It's 4, yeah.
It is, okay. Johanna with a big condemn. Root is going to miss on this, and that said, Lid falling very low into the taunt, but a massive Wailing Arrow is going to hit 3. Black Hole does provide a little bit of a disengage, but they're also very low, and Thrall and Garrosh both going to go down. Sylvanas might actually continue to chase this, but H2O with the, what is that, Overkill, I think?
Overkill.
Yeah, gonna be able to disengage that. So 2-for-1 trade in that. Just the Johanna, and Johanna went down real fast.
Oh yeah, being taunted and whatever else, as well as a bigger they are pumping in her face. Yeah, she does not last long.
Yeah, the bigger they are brings you down to 40% rather quickly, but also Thermal Lance. And Tassadar's Shock Ray is doing a load of damage right now. Plus 160 in addition to the base damage. And then you add Thermal Lance in, that's an 8%. So that taunt makes it really easy to hit and then just absolutely obliterate a hero.
Big time.
I wonder, did she take Night Terror? Oh, she sure did take Night Terror. So they have percent damage like crazy.
Yeah, I would 100% agree with that pick here. It's nowadays you see at levels, I think 1 and 7 typically is almost always going to be Sleep Dart. 4 is flexible. I think all of her level 7s are good, honest that is. But nowadays I see mostly Night Terrors.
Well, Blaze getting interrupted out of its jet propulsion. Great bunker drop. Is this root going to land? It's just barely going to with the Condemn. And that's a quick kill here. ReGen Ghost now looking to go for more. Black Hole once again with the disengage. Sylvanas not in it, but a Sleep Dart. Gonna put the pause on that, as now ReGen Ghost gonna get onto the support camp with their level 20 advantage here.
Yeah. You know, I kind of forgot to mention that it's not Nano Boost this game, it's Eye of Horus.
Right.
Which I don't like against this team, because Sylvanas can kind of just jump in or use a Wailing Arrow, and that's a whole Ana just sitting there.
Yeah, you've got Arcane Orbs, you've got Sylvanas, you've got a Blessed Shield, you've got a Jet Propulsion, you've got Deck.
You've got
there
this,
are a lot
this
of ways.
flanking Blaze.
Yeah.
I don't like that here. Maybe it was a misclick.
Maybe. It could be either way. It's a difficult position to be in, to put yourself like on hold like that. But it also means that Ana could, in theory, stay really far back to protect, because Coffin's thrown people in, right? So she doesn't want to be right next to quite literally anybody that gets thrown in.
No, not at all. And
like maybe Li Ming, because she doesn't have.
Level 20 is pretty good version of it. I think it's Deadeye or Deadshot or something like that. It's actually pretty strong. It's actually really strong.
Increases damage and healing by a percentage every...
I think 4% everything that gets hit.
Right. Per shot.
Per shot, yeah. So, like, it can get pretty flippin' strong.
So, Sylvanas going to push up bot lane here, which is a great call when you see so many of legal players up here in the top lane and the mid lane.
Yeah.
And again, Sylvanas, she can shut down these towers, so pushing up the lane, getting the catapult nearby. They do have to be a little bit careful of the Garrosh, but with enough pressure here, they can really start getting some damage into this.
Yeah. And look at that. Protector once again.
And still a half a level to go for legal. So this is a critical time for both teams. This is where Shui could get caught out, and Bunker Drop is going to keep him alive. Staywild is going to come in and get a nice sleep there. Silence as well from Respect the Elderly. So Shui's going to live, which is not how I saw that going.
Listen, I'm telling you, man, the Bunky. I love the Bunky. Always been a big proponent for Bunky. Here comes a Jet Propulsion and a Root that narrowly manages to take down your boy Garrosh.
And the bottom keep is going to go down here. Ziltoid getting very low. Does get a little bit of healing there from Deckard. As keep in mind, while these are super pots, they're not forever pots.
No, they are Respect the Elderly, so no forever pots, just big ones.
Brawl did look there for the flank, had the Earthquake doing a little bit of damage. Again, Ziltoid still very low, but couldn't quite get enough damage onto the Sylvanas without risking his own life. And I like that he pulled back there, because if Thrall dies, you just lose at that point. You know? Sylvanas, Li Ming, they're going to be able to put out damage onto this core.
Wono, you are seeing this correctly. That is your Ziltoid there on the field, ready to roll.
Indeed. Indeed. Wono and Ziltoid, formerly of Logical Decision.
Yep.
Division B West team there.
A solid one at that.
And Jailbait has been in Division B for
I think
seasons.
since season 3, dude.
Yeah,
like
like
just been in there forever.
and by Jailbait I mean legal. Jailbait before this season. So here we go. This is the next big fight. Blaze is holding on behind here, and Deckard's on the point. He is going to be able to pick up this healing camp just in time there. Blaze just enough of a distraction to give ReGen Ghost that advantage.
Yeah, but Jet Propulsion could not have come at a better time.
Thrall, the only ultimate used there. His Earthquake is down for a bit. So it's looking very much like Control Point A is going to be potentially the deciding factor here. And I say potentially because even if Legal wins the Control Point, they don't necessarily auto-win the game with it. They would probably go through top because the top fort's nearly done. But they would really have to get some kills out of it to make it happen. ReGen Ghost, however, they get this. It's a lot easier for them to secure this.
Speaking of which, Coffin is getting mega low on... Oh, no! Big, stay a while and listen, and that's Respect the Elderly. Oh, rooted, silenced, and blinded are Tassadar and DB Smiley. Tassadar goes down. Kobo, I believe that was. And items being forced out from Legal. Oh, dear.
Really great play there by ReGen Ghost. And I have to point out that not only did they have Respect the Elderly, but there was the Wailing Arrow that set it up. There was the Respect the Elderly Stay a While. And Blessed Shield at the end there from the Johanna as well, layering on that CC chain to make sure that they eliminated the biggest, potential threat on the team. Double turret, again, empowered turrets from Sylvanas going down to make sure that they bring down this keep as quickly as possible. And now they're going to make their way to core.
They were silenced, blinded, rooted, and stunned. I think that's everything.
Yeah, maybe.
Oof.
So the healing camp used here. Johanna going forward to try to disrupt the team, not getting the full benefit of the heal. Respect the Elderly, putting Tychus and forcing him to go back. Cawthon, however, getting the taunt out onto Ziltoid, but taking loads of damage for it. H2O getting very low, coming back in under 100 health. And the core sitting at 32%, but ReGen Ghost now on the full disengage without that Sylvanas. A very difficult position to be in when most of your damage now is coming in the form of occasional bombs and missiles from Li Ming.
Yeah. I mean, Disintegrate helps out too, but it was just used there, so that's not coming in anytime soon.
Yeah, and Li Ming's got to be careful. She's Glass Cannon. Oh, great Force Wall is going to lock down Shui. And now Cawthon looking to try to catch up to Ander. Can't quite get it thanks to the Scroll of Sealing, but Fragastellar throwing out that Feral Spirit, and once again, Johanna trying to just peel as much as possible for the team. Does get thrown, and that's going to be a kill onto Johanna here soon.
Oh my goodness.
And right at the beginning of this Control Point A, so that all but secures it for Legal, because ReGen Ghost will not have Johanna by the time that this gets to the end.
No.
So we will see. Now, there is pressure up in the top lane. Just right now, it's just one catapult. Tassadar's going to go clean that up. But for what it's worth, Legal has pressure in basically every lane coming in their way. So ReGen Ghost knows that they're going to have to defend that. So even when they do get to the point of having Blaze here, maybe not. Maybe not. Okay. Anyways, even when they get to the point of having ReGen Ghost having Blaze, which is right now, this is an even fight, but they're not even close to the point. So I think that they just have to give it. Unless Sylvanas wants to run in and basically just die.
Yeah,
that's exactly what would happen with a taunt available. Garrosh.
Yeah. Unless you could frame perfect unstoppable that. With the E teleport.
Right. And it looks
is
like
ReGen Ghost just going to end? I think they're just going to end.
I mean, it's 29%. It does kind of make sense now. Shui needs to make sure he's not seen here.
Legal smells it.
Yeah, and they kind of need to.
Mm-hmm. Anna hopped out, and now she's backing as well. The donkey.
So it's just Garrosh going in the Protector. But again, just 29%, so they have to kind of go all in on this core if they're doing this. And it might be enough if they can. They need to get Li Ming to shoot it, though. She's being blocked by both, and it's a full team wipe.
Eye of Horus, ladies and gentlemen. That's
holy cow, 5%. It could very well be. Garrosh is going to finish the keep up top here. And there's still 50 seconds on this Protector. This Protector will be up longer than the cooldown timers for all of ReGen Ghost. It's a long run from the opposite end of the map here.
I think that's the end of the game.
Having on it in the protector is going to give them the additional damage, and the core now is going to throw out these damage abilities, but it's not going to matter. Protector going to win this game for Legal, and what looked like a ReGen Ghost victory in the last final seconds is going to switch over, and the Legal battle has won. Did I lose you, Rec?
I'm. That was awesome. Wow. Remember when I wouldn't say bashing my horse, but yeah, that's when you take it. There.
Ladies
Right
and gentlemen.
there. It was a fail safe for the final fight. Right there. Wow.
And you know, I do want to point out that was absolutely clutch on the side of Legal. Not only the timing of their hearts, because they did those. If they were 2 seconds later, they lose the game. Having Garrosh, their weakest, like, you know, siege potential, gave them they really needed as much damage onto the team as possible. But the most important factor there was shutting down the damage that Li Ming brought to the table and making sure that her orbs and missiles could not get maximum value onto that core. One more orb gets through, that core's done if it's a max range orb. But Tassadar, and I can't remember who the other one, I think Thrall, were both right up in her face to make sure that she couldn't do that. Yeah, Guy Dude mentioning about the Black Hole as well. Doing some work. I mean, Black Hole was really strong throughout that entire game. We saw so many opportunities that ReGen Ghost kind of had taken away from them because of that Black Hole. What happened to my overlay on this? That's really weird. My stats page overlay isn't showing.
Insane.
It is showing something, but it's not what it normally shows. That's really weird. Okay, well, let's come back here real quick as we do have a lobby. So we'll find out where we're going. Rec, tell us. Where are we going? What are we doing here?
Infernal Shrines. Something like that. I think that's how
Something like that, yes.
Something like that.
So Infernal Shrines, this is the selection of Legal.
I was gonna say it's probably. I think everyone opts for first pick these days. I don't think anyone chooses a map anymore.
Not everybody, but yeah, a lot. Oh, you know what? It was the post game. That's what Let me look at post. Do that. Just gonna look at that stat. No, it still does it. That's really weird. I wonder why. Okay, well, I'll figure that out later when we're not in the middle of the game. Oh, yeah, I guess we're ready. You ready? I'm ready.
I'm ready.
All right,
I'm ready. Go. I'm sweaty. I'm ready.
Okay. Yeah, I went through and did a cleanup of some of the files and stuff on my computer just to make sure that my solid state was, you know, nice and clean and clear. And so some of the links that I had to various things did get broken, like missing Recychic's logo. It was just gone.
It was long gone.
Feels bad.
He threw it in the trash. That's how Aero thinks of me, just so everyone knows.
I mean, he's not wrong. That is what happened. Although they no longer call it the trash, it's the recycle bin. It used to be called the trash. It used to be called trash. I wonder why they changed that.
Because it's the Recychic bin, that's why.
Oh, the Recychic bin. Well, I mean, it is now, because that's where I sent you. All right, who did it better? Was it Rec, or was it the voice announcer? What do you guys think?
I think the voice announcer does a pretty good job. I don't know, that's just a thought.
So we had exactly 0 votes on our last poll, and I think it's because I put it up and then just didn't say anything. So we'll have to make sure that we actually say that this game. So Infernal Shrines, I don't know if it is still the most played map, but it certainly has been for the last few seasons. It's another pretty large map. The objective works a little bit differently. And with the changes to towers, the objective is a little bit weaker, I think, now. Because it's harder to push with it.
Mm-hmm.
That said, you can still get a lot of value making sure... saving climate one hard drive at a time, exactly. You can get a lot of value out of those extra camps, whether it's the shaman camps or the siege camps. Being able to send those out at the right time and get that push going while you're working on those shrines can be valuable. And we're going to get a switch coming out from the TAS here.
Tassadar on this map is pretty good. He's got that decent shrine clear, wave clear, just good damage in general. I don't even know why I mentioned that he's good on the map. He's good everywhere.
That's true. That's true. He is a strong hero. He does have the AoE from his Psystorm. He's also got the Shock Ray. And we're going to see another hero switch side. It's going to be Sylvanas picked up by Fragastellar.
Quite.
But then Diablo.
He's pretty solid right now, I think, too. He got those buffs kind of recently. I think his cooldowns, right? Got some cooldown buffs.
It's been a while, so I can't say for sure which ones you're talking about. But yeah, he did get some adjustments.
I think his Shadow Charge got buffed. I think he went from 12 to 10 second cooldown or something like that. I might be making that up.
Could be. I don't think it was 2 seconds. I want to say that the adjustment was just 1 second.
Okay. Well, whatever it was recent and recent-ish. It was in like the last couple months. But,
so important to note, the reworked heroes of Diva and Gazlo are both available. That's why we've seen the bans on them the last couple of games. If you know how to play them, they can be really strong. So it's not a surprise to see the Diva band especially. But even Gazlo in the right hands can do a significant amount of work. But they're going to ban out the Rhaegar. They don't want to have that bloodlust potential coming into them.
I expect Anduin from ReGen Ghost. And maybe... I could see Anduin on that side too. Stukov even.
Stukov would be a really strong one.
We'll find out next round.
So Ana and Deckard are both gone. Could be. I mean, I don't expect to see it, but Brightwing has.
I was thinking Brightwing for a moment.
Yeah, I mean, the polymorph could be really good. So could Emerald Wind in this circumstance, but also the spell armor against the Jaina and Sylvanas. Uther gives a little bit of that as well. He gives just base armor, and he's got a pretty solid cleanse. Yrel, another form of cleanse with the Hand of Freedom. So I actually really like both of those picks.
Yeah, me too. Definitely. And I was thinking Brightwing helps legal a little more than it would help Ghost there.
Yeah, for sure, because you polymorph that Greymane when he wants to dive in, and all of a sudden he's just hanging out.
Yeah, exactly. He's just a little crab or a squirrel or Stukov. Okay. Yeah, I kind of figured there's going to be that. Even Malfurion would have made some sense.
Malfurion into this ReGen Ghost team, I feel loses a fair bit because his roots are basically just garbage then.
Yeah, a little bit. They're kind of just there. It's just like a simple follow-up for Diablo, and Innervate would help Jaina out a little bit. But yeah, Malfurion was definitely a lower pick. I had a feeling it would be Stukov, though.
Yeah, Stukov's going to be really strong into this. His silence is really great when these areas are so much smaller than the control points of the map that we just watched. And so
Yeah.
Stukov, it makes it a little bit easier for him to do his job. Also, spreading his healing is a lot easier because his own team is going to be a lot closer together. So I really like the Stukov pick as well. I think both of these teams have a lot of value in their team comps here. There's nothing that's really sticking out like, hey, this is an interesting outlier. I wonder why they did that.
Yeah, no, not at all. I had something else too. I have a feeling it's a growing infestation as well, like just like an arm build almost. Probably not low blow to be honest, but.
Well, let's go ahead and get our teams introduced.
Sure. All right. Once again, left team, blue team, legal team. It's going to be H2O on Diablo, Fragastellar on Sylvanas, Cawthon on Sonya, Kobo on Jaina, and DB Smiley playing Stukov.
And on the right, we've got ReGen Ghost. It's going to be Ziltoid on Greymane. Passet are going to be played by Dub C. We got Shui on the Urel. Andrew there going to be playing that Uther, Lumberjack Uther no less. And Litterrock once again on the Johanna. So even with the nerf, Dauntless still the pick there, given that 35 physical armor. Urel going to jump in, try to push Diablo back. Of course, Diablo being a low health hero at the beginning of the game. So already quite quickly down to half health, but able to shadow charge the Johanna away. Or I'm sorry, the Urel away. And get out to safety. Wono, if I remember correctly, was the healer for Logical Decision. He agrees. Brightwing could have also been a really good pick there for ReGen Ghost. Again, I mean, I think that Uther's also just really strong. I think either one of those provides a lot of value.
For sure.
So Diablo, all by himself, is going to get slowed. Tassadar with the Force Wall does have his slowing auto attacks and a big shove into the wall there. Greymane going into the corner, but it's first blood going out, and it's Diablo heading back to base.
Poor Diablo. Oh, Fetid Touch. From Stukov, actually. Okay.
And Unfurling Shadows there for the Sylvanas. So looking for those stacks. Gonna have to keep an eye on how that goes. Jaina, of course, going into Fingers of Frost. Regen Globes. Additional mana, ultimately additional crit damage from her trait, her chill trait. So Wono, keep in mind too, one of the big things about Uther, they did make some changes so that he actually can provide better overall healing throughput for his team. In addition to the potential of even greater armor now through his Devotion Aura at level 20. At 16, he gets an upgrade to his Holy Radiance, which works a lot better. Diablo, however, catching the Greymane, but flipping away from all of his teams, so there's not really any follow-up to get that kill.
Not particularly. Oh, hold on a second. My game's a little laggy, I'm going to be honest. It's kind of jumpy. I'm trying to figure out what's going on there.
Okay. Well, both teams are level 4 here. ReGen Ghost, well, level 4 talents. ReGen Ghost has a little bit more in the XP range here, about 3/4 of a level, as they are getting just overall a little bit more soak.
Just a smidge, just a touch.
We're going to see both teams heading over to their shaman camps now, and this is an important play. I mentioned earlier that the camps providing pressure early in the game when you're starting to work on these shrines can be invaluable, but Diablo and Jaina looking for the damage onto Litterrock there, but Lid's got that Iron Skin and just says, you know what, I'm out of here. Walk away.
Oh.
Also, I didn't actually check to see if this was the case last time. Johanna going into the Laws of Hope. All of her level 1 talents, I think, are really strong. That's probably the lowest picked one, I think. But it's also, it does mean that if you're keeping track of her trait, it's a little bit easier to get that kill on Johanna.
Very true.
Sylvanas spreading that Shadow Dagger just all over the place there, bringing everybody low. Ziltoid getting almost brought down there. Does manage to disengage out and get a heal well tap and come back in. ReGen Ghost only needs 5 more to get this first Punisher.
Looks like they're probably going to do exactly that. They've got Poke for it, and speaking of Poke, goodbye, Sonya.
Yeah, Diablo there using the Tassadar wall to shove Johanna into it, but ultimately not able to get out of the danger zone there from the rest of the team. Johanna is going to go ahead and head back, just doesn't have a lot of health. Jaina, though, holy cow. Nearly falling just from that Punisher. Coming in, pouncing, and getting a couple punches to the face in.
Just a couple.
With that, the first Punisher will go down. Just the wall.
Oh. Nice. Ooh, is this going to be a fetid? Yeah. Or not fetid, a weighted pustule to check that camp.
Yeah, and going in would be questionable, I think, at the moment for Legal. Although they do have all of their heroes here. They didn't really have great positioning to see what was going on there. Jaina, however, going to get pulled and stunned by Johanna. And Tassadar coming in with that shock ray is going to finish that kill. And now, Jailbait on the full retreat here.
Yeah, Jaina was a little far forward in front of her Diablo. He tried to save her. I saw that from H2O, trying to get that shadow charge, give her some space, but not quite enough to get her out.
So, so far, this game, 4 kills to 0 looks very strong in favor of ReGen Ghost. But, as we literally just saw in the last game, you cannot count Legal out. And ReGen Ghost is going to be 10 first, so that's going to give them a big advantage here. But once Legal starts getting their combos, when they get that APOC with the Wailing Arrow, the Ring of Frost, I'm kind of assuming. May not be. It could be a Water Elemental in this. There's an easy potential for people just to, as a group, to just die very quickly on the side of ReGen Ghost.
Oh, yeah.
Ardent Defender and Divine Shield are both going to help that out a lot. And we'll see Archon even there. A different build coming out from the Tassadar, but also a different makeup. Having that personal defense in addition to those other abilities are really going to help ReGen Ghost to survive that combo.
Duraka once again actually flipped over the wall, but it turns out in their favor in the end. They find themselves a nice Jaina.
Yeah, that's one of those unfortunate moments where you're almost saying, hey, you're not in, what is it? You're not in here with me, I'm in here with you, kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you brought me into you, now accept the fact that I'm going to condemn you and potentially Blessed Shield you and slow you with my Subdue, which he didn't take, but he could have.
Certainly could have. Question for you. Does Greymane still get 10 armor in wolf form?
Yes.
Or no? He does. Okay.
Yeah.
It didn't look like it for a moment there. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you see it right there.
Yeah.
And that's probably what it was, is that he probably had armor from another source, so it may have looked differently. Or maybe there was an armor penalty.
I think he had it from Uther, so just a 25. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, because it wouldn't stack.
No.
There are very few armor abilities that do stack. Garrosh is the only one that I can think of. There might be
once upon a time, long time ago, it was before they changed how armor worked, I somehow managed to get 100 armor on Muradin. I don't remember how.
Sure. Okay. Well, Diablo's going to be looking right here for the Tassadars. Going to get the charges of flip and leap coming out. Tassadar deleted from the game here. Ring of Frost is going to come out as well. And really just kind of a zoning route, slowing people down and having the chill. As Diablo charging in onto Greymane does get the proc on Divine Shield. But holy smokes. The damage there from Sylvanas with that Haunting Wave plus her Shadow Dagger. And the Shadow Dagger is only at 83 stacks. Did about half of the health there of Johanna with the other burst damage coming in from the team.
Yeah, ReGen Ghost going to concede this. It's going to be Legal taking this next Punisher. What is it? Mortar Punisher? Looks like a Mortar Punisher.
That is a Mortar Punisher, yep. Yeah. Just so you know, if you mouse over the minimap, it'll tell you.
Oh, it is. Yes. Okay, never mind. It turned blue for a second. I was like, wait.
I did that the other day too. I was like, wait, I thought it said it was an arcane Punisher because I was looking at the little gem at the top.
Yeah.
Why did this change to a frozen Punisher? What's up? So level 13s are here for ReGen Ghost. Legal pushing in is going to be able to get this fort at least most of the way down, if not all the way down, as the Punisher gets one more stun there. And I think that's about all that Legal can really get out of this. H2O disagrees, does charge in, and Tassadar pops that Archon.
Ooh.
Yrel coming in from behind is going to knock DB Smiley in, and that's going to be 1 kill so far. H2O coming back in, and that's going to make it 2 kills, ultimately resetting the souls of Diablo.
The bitter irony of trying to save your Diablo, and then you both die. I think he was out. Oh.
That was an absolutely fantastic flank from Shui, coming in with the Avenging Wrath, hitting the Hammer of the Righteous, I think is what it's called, or Righteous Hammer, and knocking Smiley right into the middle of the rest of ReGen Ghost.
Yeah, well played by SHW33.
With the 3?
3, yeah.
So Diablo is back, working on getting his souls. He's sitting at 8 right now, so very low on the soul count. But could get a few out of this if this 4v4 here goes in their favor. But already with the Cursed Bullet, Diablo having to charge onto the Tassadar. Blizzard coming down as well, but still very low on the health is going to be Diablo falling once again. And now they're looking at Fragastellar on that Sylvanas, the Divine Shield on the Greymane doing a lot of work. But the disengage from Smiley there, able to at least make sure the rest of the team makes it out just with the 2 kills.
You love to see Divine Shield and like the swipes are coming out and he's just like, nope.
It's also important to note that we have Gladiator medallions now. I know I've heard them. I'm not sure that any of them have been within the last 5 minutes. So,
well, let's take a look. Diablo has Sylvanas very recently. Sonya has hers up right now. Jaina has hers up right now. Stukov has his. Yrel used it. Uthers is available. Tassadar available. Greymane and Johanna have used theirs. So there's like 6 up right now.
Yeah, so it's a 5-minute cooldown. It's a long cooldown, but it does help to prevent some of these potential combo issues, right? The Ring of Frost, the Apocalypse, even potentially the Leap. Maybe even dodging the Flailing Swipe.
Sometimes I use it to engage, almost. Not engage, but like, you know, like if I'm Lucio or something and I need to get that sound barrier off early, I'll pop it and then sound barrier, you know, just in case there's that suddenly Diablo. And there always is.
I had my first medallion mosh today that worked out clutch because the other team had a Valera and she tried to silence it and then she just died.
Oh, beautiful.
It felt real good. Nobody else died, and I think my team ended up losing most of that fight, but, you know, what are you going to do?
What are you going to do about it?
Oh, man. All right, so we got camps going all over the place here. I think Sonya may even head... Nah, she's probably not going to head down and get the bottom. They're going to be 16 here once Sonya finishes this, so I fully expect the rest of Legal to come up here and this to be just a 5v5. But the question is, how far does ReGen Ghost get before Sonya makes it up here?
I mean, they're doing a good job of guarding it right now. It doesn't look like Legal has too many ways to go in without Diablo doing something first. There it is. The APOC combo. Getting actually a whole bunch of stuns, followed by the Ring of Frost, going to take down 2 members of ReGen Ghost. But Tassadar is, with that Archon, he's doing some serious damage, and Little Rock refuses to die. Just kidding. Yes, he does. And I think that's going to be it for ReGen Ghost.
And that's a full team wipe there for Legal, trading out just the Diablo. And you were just talking about, you know, needing that engage. And what happens? Sonya says, hold on, guys, get on my back. Let's go. I'm carrying you to victory. And sets up that entire play. Hits 2 or 3 with the leap. The Apocalypse hits all over the place. And then that's where Jaina, that's where Sylvanas throw out their AoE damage. And the health bars, they're just not able to keep up. Even with that level 16. Let's show this item here, by the way. Or not item, but talent. You know, so he gets those auto attacks and his Holy Radiance becomes significantly more powerful, right? A 40% increase to the damage and healing, and or potentially up to 40%. And that's just all the time. Anytime he gets autos, it increases. And with that, you know what? Legal was a fair bit behind in XP. Now, nearly dead even.
Yeah, I think this is keep. You got Fragastellar on Sylvanas gonna just shut this down. Oh dear. ReGen Ghost looking for something in the backside. I think not doing too hot here. There it is. The Archon popping out. DB Smiley goes down pretty quickly. I saw a Ring of Frost in there somewhere. Actually, it's going to be Johanna following next. Coffin doing his absolute darndest to whirlwind his way to victory, spin to win. But I think Punisher is going to grab this keep, and ReGen Ghost moves on from there.
You know, it's really hard to fight behind a Frozen Punisher because it forces you to deal with yet another CC when you already have, what, 4 CCs on the side of Legal.
Yeah,
But securing the kill onto Stukov is the only way that they save that keep, which it may not matter now because there's still 1 catapult.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing you keep seeing it is the solo APOC combo, the RQE, and then leap, and then a Ring of Frost. There's plenty of time for that Ring of Frost to come out. Almost feels, I don't want to say redundant, the Ring of Frost, but it is good for sure. But like, nah, I'm not gonna. No, it's fine.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but I don't feel like they've gotten the maximum potential value that they could.
I feel like at that point everyone's dead.
It's definitely felt that way, yeah, because of the amount of damage they have elsewhere. But you know what the Ring of Frost does do is that means that anybody that's left alive has a harder time disengaging.
Yeah,
so it helps them to clean up those kills, even if it doesn't get a root. It still allows them the chill effect, which Jaina then gets that extra damage from.
100%. And I'm not bashing at all. I was just wondering, like, at that point.
That's true, because Bashing is actually on a different team, and he's not casting. The viewers are calling. They want a game 3, and I can't blame them. These have been really strong teams and really close games. The early games have, in general, even most of last game, have really favored ReGen Ghost. But as the talents come online and as the game gets later, Legal has really shown that they've got the staying power and the fortitude to ultimately win these fights significantly.
H2O was kind of looking for something there. I think he was just looking to bait out the Iron Skin and did exactly that. I don't think he was actually looking for an engage at all. He kind of just walked up to Johanna and stared at her.
Big stun there onto Diablo. And look at that. Did you see that shock ray? That was half of Diablo's health with 2 abilities. 1, the knockback from Shui. 2, the shock ray from Tassadar.
I think Templar's Verdict helped there. Oh, first of all, it's a 7% max health thing. But,
and the armor reduction.
For sure. Armor. So I think part of the shock ray, it might have hit just as, like, just before the armor reduction ended, so that might have been it. But also, shock ray just does that much damage. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, you get the 7%, you get the 8%. That's huge. Here comes the engage. They get the knockback. Diablo, however, getting stunned. A Great Blessed Shield coming out. Ring of Frost is going to land onto 4. There's the APOC to follow, and a double kill so far. HTO somehow surviving forever here. Is Johanna going to fall as well? Sylvanas pushing in onto Shui as H2O is just all over the gray main. And it's a mega kill here for Legal, and I think they win the game.
Yeah, you just
I think that's it.
Yeah, you don't even need to. You got Sylvanas. Just go ahead and end the game.
And Rec, I do want to point out, that was the exact scenario that we were just talking about. Ring of Frost, 100% MVP right there. Locked him down. Then the APOC came out. Had 4 heroes that couldn't do a thing. and ultimately allowed Legal to get their combo off and somehow to leave Diablo alive.
I'm wondering if Bulwark of Light just wasn't on the right person. The level 20 upgrade for D-Shield.
And that's it.
And that is that.
Did I not? I didn't do that. This was that. Was Colonel Shaw. And it was the... Alright. Score has been updated, so... again, a remarkably close game for most of this, and, you know, both teams had great moments, but ultimately, Legal with the last one in each game, and giving them the victory. Let's see.
D-Shield didn't even go out. Yeah, I think you're right. I don't think I saw a cooldown on it either.
I'm going to check to see if we can get an interview with H2O or somebody here from...
Yeah, sure.
We can get an interview with Legal.
The legal
I'm
department.
going to go ahead and call this a deposition. Yeah, and that's... Yeah, chat's calling out. Didn't even have the chance. That was like the one potential, because they were all close enough that if it's on the right target, 3, maybe 4 of them would get that divine
3 or 4 would have had it, and I don't know what made me think it was used. I don't know. I thought I heard it maybe. And
yeah, I didn't see it. All right, so they are in lobby 4. Let's head on over, Rec.
Yeah, sure.
Why, hello.
Hello there.
Hi there.
Congratulations on your victory. We are joined by DB Smiley from Legal. Now, are you ready for your official deposition?
Yeah. That was a hard set.
It was. So you know, obviously you guys come out with the victory here, but you know, tell me about how your team feels after each of these games, because both of these games started with you know, really strong you know, support coming from ReGen Ghost, but the wins going over to Legal. So how does that work out, and how does your team end up like that?
I mean, we've always been good at the late game team fight. I think we got exposed on a couple things that we could improve on, and credit to ReGen Ghost for exposing them. Their macro was better. You know, we made some sloppy rotations in both games early that kind of gave the XP lead away, and at that point it got harder to pick our fights. But you know, once we hit that post 20 set, I think we just know how to fight much better post 20. So if the game could just start there, please, that would be lovely.
You just win every game then, right? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying that. Death and Delay would still clean our clock. No, and it's just, I think ReGen Ghost played really just a fantastic series, and I think we got a couple lucky breaks, but we also had some really good combos late to keep us in the game. And you know, credit to us for not getting tilted, but credit for ReGen Ghost for almost tilting us. I mean, they played a really exceptional series.
So game number 1 ended with you guys getting the Protector, ReGen Ghost saying, let's go ahead and you know, push core. There was only 29% health on the core, I think, at the time. And of course, you guys start to go back. So at what point did you realize that? And then I'm going to have a follow-up question for you. What were comms like at that moment? Let's start with that, and then I'll get to the follow-up question.
Comms were actually pretty comfortable. I mean, they were off map for a long time. We had a 20% core. If they didn't try to backdoor, they made the wrong decision, honestly. I mean, like, yeah, you can always say, well, it didn't work. It was absolutely the right decision. We managed to get the kills when we desperately needed them. I mean, it helps that I didn't have to back on Ana to participate in the fight, since I'm like the one loser still picking Eye of Horus. But that helped. But otherwise, I mean, we were fairly calm. We were just like, look, the only way we win the game is if we win off this Protector. and Garrosh doesn't do damage. We just have to kill them as fast as we can. So, like, we didn't send Garrosh back. I just hopped out of Triglav and Eye of Horus, and then the other 2 damage backed. That's all. So we got. I mean, it could have gone either way. We got lucky there.
Yeah. So my follow-up question actually directly relates to that. It's funny you mentioned about taking Eye of Horus, because I'm not saying that anybody in the casting booth who is not named Aero might have been a little bit skeptical of the Eye of Horus until the very end of the game, when he goes, "Oh, yeah, okay, so Eye of Horus just won the game for them," or something akin to that.
Deadeye. I mean, Eye of Horus is definitely worse than Nano, but Deadeye is better than upgraded Nano.
Filthy. It's filthy, Deadeye.
Yeah, Deadeye's disgusting when you can get value. I managed to get a couple multi-targets there, but I mean, credit my team, because they were actually getting the kills. I was just trying to keep them alive. I managed to find a kill accidentally in that.
Yeah, sure. And I did mention it in the cast, but there was one particular moment that I thought was fantastic, and ultimately, I think is what set this as a win for you guys, which was that both I think it was Fragisteller playing Thrall and Tassadar was Kobo. So those two hugging Li Ming like they were sumo wrestlers, because Li Ming could not get the damage she needed to. So 5% core. One combo from Li Ming and that core is dead. But keeping those two in her face is ultimately what allowed you guys to secure that, I think.
Yeah, Frag and Kobo have been our MVPs so far this season. They've been playing really just exceptional. I think especially in Game 2, there were some fights that my positioning, we did our best to throw, and some Ring of Frost managed to turn it around. So, Kobo played great. We had great Wailing Arrows as well. I mean, our damage really carried tonight, when I think some of us didn't play as well, if I'm honest, with my own performance.
Well, I mean, I think that you played, really well. There was really only the one moment with you and Diablo, which we won't go into, but that looked a little unfortunate.
Yeah,
and that was, I think, more.
I do that thing where I try to save people, and that's a mistake.
Sometimes it is a mistake, and I don't think that was necessarily on you. I think that was more on Shui recognizing the opportunity to get you there.
He was all over me preventing the flailing swipes. He played a really good Urel, and the Joanna from Literak was also exceptional both games.
So, quick question for you, and then I'm going to pass it over to Rek. This is on a kind of a different scale. You run the 323 show weekly, so you're very familiar with generally how the teams are, where they're ranked and everything. Where do you think that Diva is going to have? Because she gets banned all the time now, right? She's a hot ticket. Do you think Diva's going to have a significant difference in, any teams play or all teams play, or do you think that it's just going to stay banned until they get some nerfs or what have you, or how do you see that playing out? Or do you have an opinion?
I mean, we're in a situation we felt really nervous about being second pick both games because of Chromie and Diva feel just really, really oppressive right now. Thankfully, Deckard's been nerfed, so he's not nearly as a concern in my mind. That's not to say he's bad, but just he's not oppressive like he once was. I don't know any Diva 1 tricks to comment on that. I kind of more just play the horse race rather than the analysis. So I can't. I honestly have no clue what impact Diva's going to have. I think it'll make first pick pretty strong again, like it was when Zul was OP.
Or when Oriole and Deathwing were both.
Yeah,
crazy.
well, and Chromie is... I mean, Chromie already makes first pick really strong, because we feel like we just have to ban it on any map with anything resembling a choke point, or something that once saw a choke point.
Right.
Yeah.
Rek, what questions do you have for Mr. Smiley?
More so a comment than anything. It's funny to look at the scoreboard. It says 2-0, right? And it's funny to look at it, because if you actually look at the kills, I think across both games it was dead equal.
It was.
And so at a first glance you'd think, 2-0, whatever. But in all honesty, those games were tight. That was was a 4, rank 1 versus rank 2 or something like that. So I suppose I could turn this into a question, is just I think Aero kind of already asked this, but I'll double back on it. Is how do you stay calm during that? Like, is something going through your mind like, oh crap, this could change at any moment or anything like that? Like, how does it feel in the moment of something so close?
Perhaps tipping my cards too much, but I was very, very sick last night, so I slept 2 hours, so I'm too fucking tired to sorry language. Forgive me, I'm trying not to swear on other people's names. I am too tired to like process at that point. I'm just like, where's my Q button? All right, there it is. Just wait until there's a lot of green orbs and hit trait and hope for the best. No, I mean, no, that is something that I mentioned we're pretty strong at the post 20 fights. I don't it's hard to attribute that because I think we have not been playing macro at a level that I think we did last season. So that's something I hope we can improve again. I guess it just goes to doubling back to 333 is not a plug, but I don't have time to watch every game. So I'll look at like that's the storm when I see a 2-0 just to try to get a gist of how one-sided it was. This was like, you look at this 2-0 and it's like you should look at it no different than you would look at a 1-2. It was an incredibly close match. So much so that I think if I remember, I had ReGen Ghost down at like C. They would probably move up. Because I mean that literally could have gone either way. So
yeah,
there's no reason that they're not on the same tier as us. Now we might suck, and if that's the case, sorry to ReGen Ghost but yeah.
Fair enough. Is that everything, Rec?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. So Smiley, last question, then we'll get to shoutouts. Was there any particular moment, any flashy play or anything that you wanted to make sure gets highlighted that you did or somebody on your team or the opposing team?
I mean, our play of the game after game one was very much going to be the core defense. That said, the last team fight, Cawthon, who normally is our tank, swapped the offlane there onto Sonya. He's a good Sonya player. Had a god tier leap that saved the poop out of Diablo. Let Diablo get his W healing in because I couldn't get a heal up to Diablo. So Cawthon off that leap. You get the Wailing Arrow follow. It was what won us the game because that fight, like I immediately panicked when that fight started because I didn't have heals out. So he kind of bailed me out there.
Yeah, and we talked about that a little bit too. In that, and honestly, if I was going to pick one, I would have picked that play too. I don't know the order because I don't recall specifically seeing the leap or the timing of the leap. I remembered Jaina's ring coming in and locking down 4 heroes, and then I thought that led off the rest of the stun chains, but it could have very well been that Cawthon started it with leap and then ring came out on top of it. But
there's
in any case,
there's a good to fair chance I have no memory of the order.
And that's okay.
I'm just like my focus on that fight was I didn't pre-heal. They're all gonna die. It's my fault, and Cawthon bailed me out. So.
Yeah, it was an absolutely fantastic play. You guys layered your CCs well and ultimately just shredded the entire team of ReGen Ghost. It gave you the victory. So you know what? MVP plays, no matter whether it was Cawthon or Kobo or whomever, H2O living for an eternity there helps you guys to succeed. Like him not dying in that circumstance was mind-blowing.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Yeah, I actually, not even jokingly, was like asking him how he lived, and I wasn't trying to be funny or snarky. I'm like, I have no clue how your health bar went from not having anything to having a lot of things.
Right.
So I don't want to take up too much more of your time, but yeah, thanks for the cast. I'm looking forward to watching it.
Good deal. Well, yeah, let's go ahead and wrap up. Any shoutouts?
Yeah, I have extra shoutouts to my team. We've been. After a couple seasons, you can start to get on each other's nerves a bit. Admittedly, that's been happening, but people have been sticking it out. So huge kudos to them for doing that. And just, that's kind of the big takeaway. Shout out to my wife. She is tolerating me while I play this game like a child. Anyway.
Fair enough.
I spent way too much time in this game. Oh my god.
Well, you know what? You did it after you got married, so you're doing all right.
Yeah. Well, no, I did it before I got married too. I only got married this year, so.
Yeah, all the extra stuff, the 3-2-3.
Oh, right,
We're
right.
still
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
the
Well,
analysis
it's
for the
pretty
numbers.
easy when you can't leave the house.
Good point. Good point. Well, thanks again for joining us. Really great set. Really appreciate you stopping by and putting on such a good show.
Yeah, and huge shout outs to ReGen Ghost. They deserved a better result tonight. They played extremely well, and I'm looking forward to seeing them in playoffs. I think they're going to have a good run.
Good deal. Well, have a good night.
All right, take care.
All right. All right, and we are back with Psychic. There he is. Hello, Rek.
Hi, everyone. Hello. It's your boy, Chocolate.
Chocolate. Whatever, dude. So, Rek, we're going to go ahead and we're going to check in to see what's going on around the Nexus. I believe, unless it went very quickly, I believe the Nexus Gaming Series is still probably hosting the Storm Division. Probably send everybody. But before we do, anything you want to say to our Twitch chat folks there at home?
Yeah, thanks for coming out once again, everyone. That was a super exciting game series. I really enjoyed that one. You know where to follow me. It's down there. It's my little handle on Twitter, Twitch, all that jazz, and stay cool.
Alrighty. And it turns out Storm Division's almost done. ReGen is just now finishing up game number 3, a 3-0 victory over the other Koreans. So we're not going to send you over there because there's nothing to do there. But it looks like maybe our buddy Murda, he's casting. So, and that is in the middle of game number 2. So we'll go ahead and send everybody over to Murda. Want to shout out here to Legal and ReGen Ghost. Really fantastic set. It was a great series to watch. So many really fantastic highlight level plays. Make sure you guys highlight those. Put them in the highlight channel. Good. And really appreciate everybody stopping by and enjoying the show here. Have a wonderful night, and we'll see you again soon.